Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Mold, Empower and Serve 35th Celebration webinar. It is fantastic seeing you here, and I'm first going to run through the housekeeping. I can see that we already have about 75 people online. We are waiting for a larger number, seeing that 249 people have actually registered for the webinar. It is really a joyous occasion to celebrate MES's 35th birthday. It's 35 years of changing the hearts of the city and truly adding value to those in need and to those marginalized in our society. First of all, a little bit of house rules. Please use the chat facility. You'll see that in the chat I've posted at the top that you must please make sure to post any questions that you have in the chat facility. At the appropriate times through the webinar, we'll be able to field your questions, and Leona and Zama will be able to answer the questions later on. Then also, please make sure that you download the files which we've posted for you. If you look at the right-hand side of the intro screen, you'll see there's a button that says Files. In those, we've got the MES annual report of 2019-2020, a really beautiful document, and it tells you everything about MES and about the impact of MES. It also acknowledges our supporters and our donors that contribute so significantly to MES and have done so over the last 35 years. Also, you'll find a file with the MES overview timeline since day one up until today. It explains a little bit more about the strategy and the offering of MES and the benefits that you can get through getting involved in MES. Both Leona and Zama will also talk a little bit more about that later. And then you can download the agenda and the donation details so that at any given point, feel free to have a look at the agenda if you download it so that you can see what is still installed for you. The webinar will take about 2 hours, but we've got some stunning things that we are going to share with you. And we really would like you to remain with us, stay online, make sure that you participate and that you celebrate with us the fact that MES is 35 years old. If at any point you feel totally compelled to start donating, we are totally up for that and welcome that. You can merely click on the Office button and you'll see all of the details. If you click on the link there, it will also take you to the web page where you will be able to see how you can get involved with MES. So that in a nutshell gives you the housekeeping of this afternoon, but I would like to share with you what is installed for the afternoon. First of all, by now, as you can see, you are already welcome, obviously. We'll also make sure that as people speak and as they present, they'll appear on screen in one of the four corners so that we don't obstruct the visuals of the presentation. Afterwards, we will also have a recording that you can come back to and that you can actually watch the entire webinar or share it with somebody else in your organization. I also want to extend a specific welcome to all of the people in our branches and in our projects. We have a lot of the MES clients that are also online today that are viewing from our various locations. And to all of the MES clients and our VIP guests, I really want to extend a warm welcome to you because you are the people that MES and all of the donors and all of the people in MES actually work so hard to celebrate and to give a better chance to having a sustainable quality life. So to each and every MES client on the webinar this afternoon, please know that you are totally welcome and that we value working with you, and that we value your journey to becoming a sustainable contributor to society. We know that things happen, life turns out differently than what we want, but MES is here to help you on your journey and to make sure that your contribution to our society later on will be sustainable and will be one of quality, where you can live a quality life. Then if I look at the agenda of what we're going to go through, first I'm going to share with you an overview video. Then I'm going to call on our chairman to do the opening. We're going to have a video clip from some loyal supporters of MES, some of the members of the board that are on the board with me are going to give us a few of their impressions, congratulate MES with their birthday. Then from there, the MES CEO, Leona Pinar, is going to do the main address. Leona has been with the organization for a long time, and she actually knows the organization inside out in many capacities. From there, our clients and our branch managers will take us through their perspectives of what life at MES is all about. Then I'm going to do an interview with Zama Ndlovu, our fundraising and marketing manager. Afterwards, we'll hear some more from our partners and our supporters. And then there's a very interesting challenge that each of you will face from a young man that is truly inspirational. Afterwards, we're going to close, and then we've got a bit of entertainment that the Joshuas will put up for us. But without further ado, I would like to share with you the MES overview video.
In South Africa, the gap between the wealthy haves and the poor have-nots is worryingly growing wider and wider. People struggling to make ends meet generally move to cities, especially to the inner city, to find employment, but they often find themselves stranded, alone, and helpless. This continued migration of desperation is keenly felt on the African continent. Established systems providing housing, employment, education, healthcare, and psychosocial support have long since become unable to deal with this influx of unemployed, often unemployable job seekers. MES is an established Christian integrated social development organization that molds the character of marginalized urban communities through a range of empowering programs. We serve the survival and basic developmental needs of no to very low income city dwellers, hence MES being an acronym for Mold, Empower, Serve. By the grace of God, MES has been changing the heart of our cities for more than 30 years. Founded in 1986 effectively as a church-based soup kitchen outreach program in the exciting yet challenging area of Hillbrow in Johannesburg, the range of programs, clients and branches have since grown to now include various South African cities. MES operates in Johannesburg, Cape Town, Kempton Park, Soweto and Port Elizabeth, where we assist vulnerable or at-risk individuals, families and communities, empowering them to become independent and sustainable members of society. The challenges faced by marginalized people in the cities differ according to their particular age groups. There is a growing need for enough, competent, nurturing early childhood development. MES addresses some of these needs through our city creches that have built up a much valued school readiness success rate and parental welfare support system. Once children are of school-going age, they often experience a lack of nutrition, shortage of homework support, and insufficient positive spiritual and social development. MES then offers after-school programs and children's holiday camps, clubs and mentorship to address these needs. Given South Africa's terrible secondary school pass rates, the majority of 18-year-olds drop out or leave school without usable qualifications. For this group, MES offers skills training courses through our accredited training centre, as well as a young adult service leadership gap year called the Joshua Program. The fourth age group MES serves is the over 35-year-olds, or the adults. Our adult clients have real survivalist needs, which we serve through our canteens, homeless shelters, and Grow Employment Rehabilitation Program. This therapy-based job simulation program assists people who have given up looking for employment to rediscover their worth and identity. By customizing our interventions for each of these four age groups, MES molds the young lives of the preschoolers, empowers the learners and youth, and serves the homeless and unemployed adults. Supplementary to these age-specific developmental and survivalist interventions, MES also offers to all our clients a range of social support services, which includes statutory social work services, healthcare community outreaches, spiritual pastoral support, nutrition, and individual development planning. To address our clients' needs optimally and in an integrated way, each client is first assessed by our social work team. The most urgent basic survival needs are then addressed where possible, such as food, overnight shelter, disaster management, clothing and blankets, and medical intervention if necessary. Our programs offer an holistic approach through different phases of prevention, intake, intervention, and where and when appropriate and possible, exit onto the next life stage or onto eventual employment with more secure accommodation. MES understands that it is a privilege to serve those in greatest need of help and has been doing so for over 30 years. To continue positively impacting the hearts of the cities we are part of, MES is challenged to improve the financial sustainability of our programs. The work that is done in the urban marginalized communities is only made possible through our partners who work alongside us in tackling the challenges of urban poverty and deprivation. Your involvement with MES will go a long way in improving the lives of people in need in our cities. You too can partner with MES by sharing expertise, time and resources, or contributing financially. By partnering with MES, corporates have a range of tax benefits on donations, employment equity scorecard credits, and youth employment scheme benefits available to them through various government initiatives. Help us to heal the broken hearts in our communities to again become beating hearts in the cities.
What an absolute privilege to be involved with MES. And as Stone and as an individual, it's been a long journey since the 1st of August 2008. And as a business, we are exceptionally proud to support MES and to be involved with MES. But now that you've got a glimpse of what MES is all about, I would like to invite our board chairman, the Reverend Hannes Windel, to open the proceedings officially for this afternoon. Hannes, over to you. Can you please switch on the camera and mic on your side?
Thank you, Willem. Thank you, Willem. It's a privilege to be part of this webinar this afternoon. I would like to open with prayer because that's the way we open our board meetings normally. Thank you, Heavenly Father, that on this special day, when we look back over 35 years and we look to the future for your blessing, that we can, first of all, thank you for the wonderful years that we've had as an organization and as a non-government organization and company. We thank you for all the blessings that we've experienced over the years. Thank you that we were able to render service to so many people over the years, and eventually now to different cities in our country. Thank you for all the individuals that have been part of this wonderful organization for so many years. We think of the first people that worked at MES, the first staff members, the first volunteers. But over the years, they were joined by others, people that came in and worked in MES Thank you for the clients that they were able to be part of MES, not only as clients, but also to be part of a big dream. You've called us in this world to be of service to one another, and we thank you for that. We pray for this webinar this afternoon that it will really be insightful to everybody, and that it will inspire people to be of service to you in your kingdom. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity, and thank you for all the donors and everybody that have been part of MES for so many years. We thank you for this in the wonderful name of Jesus Christ, who called us all. I started being involved with MES as a volunteer. The first time I heard about MES was maybe in 1988. Never did I think at that stage that I would be part of MES even today. Maybe I should say that I started as a volunteer. In about 1993, I volunteered to join MES with some training for the youth group that MES started in those years. It was the first or maybe the second group of youth volunteers that did their service here at MES. And I volunteered to do some training, and eventually I ended up being the chairman of MES after so many years. I'm still a volunteer after so many years. Over the years in the board, we had different sort of discussions. We realized at a certain stage that maybe the work done by MES needs to be expanded to other cities. We had the experience of other cities also starting organizations and wanting to join with MES and partner with MES. And so the board had quite a few discussions about it. Do we expand to other cities? Do we open branches? Do we start a franchise? That was one of the things that we thought of quite a lot. I was always inspired by board members and directors. People from all walks of life became directors, and they joined in the board with the discussions about MES and the future of MES. When we look back at 35 years, I think there has been so many individuals who volunteered, who were donors. They joined in MES, and it would be really a problem to try and single out certain individuals or companies or corporates and say this one made this contribution, or that one made that contribution. The thing that I was thinking about this morning was how many people from all over the world got involved. I remembered the Japanese consulate getting involved. I remember our friends from the Netherlands getting involved, people from Canada, the States, all over, people are involved. Even at this stage, we have friends all over the world contributing towards MES. And the board have been so grateful to each and every one for their donations and their participation. When we talked about having an AGM this year, eventually it became a webinar, and I think this is a wonderful opportunity for people from all over the world to join in and take part in this wonderful birthday celebration of MES, which started as it was said, as a soup kitchen. It was actually a project of a congregation that said, we need to look at the people in the community, we need to look at the people in the streets, we need to look at the youth, and eventually this became this wonderful organization. And I'm very grateful, not only to the board members over the years, but to all the individuals, corporates, and people from all over the world who helped us to make this dream possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Hannes, and thanks for your wonderful leadership as the board chairperson. It's really a privilege to serve on the board with you, and you are an excellent leader, and may you long continue. But what is absolutely critical is that an organization like MES cannot continue without the loyal support of donors and of partners. And I would like to now hand over to some of our partners to, in a short video clip, just say their words of congratulations.
Congratulations, MES. What a wonderful milestone. May there be many, many more. Thank you for the incredible work you do for the needy in our society, in our communities. And thank you for the warmth and the compassion and the happiness and hope and joy that you do all of the work you do. It's a wonderful privilege to be part of you, even if it's a very small part of you, but it's a great honor for me. May there be many, many more. Congratulations.
Hi julle, Dennis hier van Palmgrove Spar. Met baie geluk sê aan MES met hulle 35ste bestaanjaar. Veel geluk julle, happy birthday. En ek daag al die besighede in Durban wil uit om vir MES te ondersteun en vir die gemeenskap wat wil betrokke raak. Julle kan by ons stulpunte 'n MES voedsel voucher koop. As jy wil in 'n verantwoordelike manier die gemeenskap ondersteun. Baie geluk MES en ek sien uit om julle ander video's te kyk.
Hello TMS, on behalf of KFC ADOPE, I would like to wish you a very happy 35th birthday. Thank you for all you are doing in the communities you serve and for the long-standing partnership you have nurtured with us over the years. We at KFC ADOPE cannot do the job on our own. We need partners like MES. We look forward to celebrating with you, and long may you continue to be at the service of others, especially the children of our country. Thank you again and happy birthday.
Happy birthday, MES, from the VRZ social team. We love you and we love working with you. And in the same manner that you mold, empower and serve our clients and the people that we love, you do it for us as well. And we really want to thank you for that. And we are looking forward to work with you for another 35 years. Happy birthday!
Fantastic. As you can see, the MES work is not happening in isolation. It is really a question where our donors and our supporters and our volunteers become part of our DNA. And also, we are privileged to have really bright people on the board, and people that have a warm heart for the work that MES does, and people that have actually walked the road of hardship themselves as well from time to time. So it is really important that our MES directors also get the opportunity to actually tell you a little bit more about their journey of joining MES. I would like to hand over to some of my fellow board members now, so that they can actually tell you a little bit more about their journey, and also perhaps do a little bit of a call to action to you, to get involved, to remain involved, and to make sure that you give some of your talent and your time and perhaps some of your money to also support the good work of MES. I hand over to my fellow board members.
MES, congratulations with your 35th birthday on the 1st of June. Well done. It's an honor to serve our Lord and the community through your work. Thank you also to all those who came before us and who served and built the foundations on which we can continue the upliftment of our people. I pray that the Lord will be with you and that you'll continue for many, 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 many more years.
Happy birthday, MES. 35 years old today. What a wonderful celebration, and thanks for the opportunity to be part of it. I have been part of MES for more than 20 years, so I can talk about adolescence and teenage problems until maturity today at 35 years old. So I've shared a lot, good days, bad days, seen changes in visions and goalposts, also the loss and sadness of a very respected hospice for HIV patients in the inner city, which will always be very treasured memories in my life. So thank you for being part today, and I want to invite everybody to become involved in an NGO like MES, where we can all play our role to change the heart of the city through molding, empowering, and serving the community. That's what the Lord Jesus would like us to do. And in a country with so much inequality, and where governments, institutions, and universities will come and go, but the compassion, dedication, and integrity of an NGO like MES will keep the world going. Congratulations again to everybody, and let's keep the celebration going. Thank you.
Hey, congratulations to the wonderful organization called MES. Over 35 years, you have made such a difference in our city, in our country, and the societies where you operate. I have been privileged to serve on the board of this great organization. Now, at 35 years that it is around, it's still going to go on if you take the time to donate your talent, you give us a little bit of your money or any goods in kind or services, and everybody, the people that are most vulnerable, will be grateful. May you continue to grow in strength, and God bless you all. Thank you.
I'm Alta Visser, board member of MES. Congratulations to MES on 35 years of changing the hearts of the cities in Kempton Park, Port Elizabeth, Cape Town, and Johannesburg. I want to urge all of you to please get involved with MES in any way to help us to improve the lives of the poor and the destitute.
Happy birthday, MES. 35 years, what a wonderful milestone. It's an absolute privilege and a blessing to be able to serve MES on the board. And I really, in this birthday message, would just like to thank two groups of people. Firstly, the donors. Thank you for your kindness. It's not possible without you donating and giving the way you do. Bless you. And then also for the staff of MES. Thank you for your heart to help those in need. You've helped so many. And my birthday gift to MES is just a prayer that God will continue to bless the work of your hands as you live out the Isaiah 58 calling. And yeah, enjoy the celebration. 35 years, wonderful. God bless you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tabiso Ramasika. I'm the member of the board at MES. I'd like to take this opportunity and privilege to wish MES nothing but the best on its 35 years milestone. 35 years of impacting lives, 35 years of changing lives. I wish to also take this moment to perhaps pose a challenge to a couple of non-executive directors or executive directors that serve on various boards. Go and Google www.mes.org.za and start connecting with an organization that is making a difference, an organization that is changing lives every single day. MES, congratulations on your 35 years of existence, and happy anniversary, happy birthday, all the best.
Thank you so much to each board member for your dedication, your hard work, and also your time, skill, and talent that you give free of charge, and with an open heart and an open hand. I now would like to call on Leona Pinar, the Chief Executive Officer of MES, to join me on screen. Leona is no stranger to MES. She'll tell you a little bit more about her own journey. But since day one of our involvement in MES, Leona has been a key contact, a key champion, and Leona's journey has also been a long one in MES, and she's come through the ranks, she's walked the roads, she's walked the pavements literally until her appointment as CEO last year. Nobody could be more deserving than Leona to hold this position. Leona, welcome this afternoon, and to you and the whole organization, I want to say a heartfelt congratulations for this phenomenal milestone.
Thank you, Willem, and yeah, thank you for hosting us. It's really a privilege.
It's a pleasure. Over to
yeah. I've got the task to take you through the 35 years, and it's quite daunting when you need to think of what do you add and what do you leave out. So I've been asked to share a little bit of my story, and my story started with MES long before I joined MES. I became, we used to camp at Swartvlei. It's a campsite close there by Sedgefield. And there was a man by the name of Johan Barnard who every year in December would have a testimony day in the church where he would share about the outreaches in Hillbrow and the lives that were touched and changed. And that was actually incredible. It always touched my heart. And during my mission years at Stellenbosch University, there was always a stall from MES. I got involved there, got involved with missions in Mozambique, always drove past Joburg and said to the Lord, anywhere, just not Joburg. And yeah, the Lord has a sense of humor, and it's 28 years later and I'm still in Hillbrow. So in 1994, I made Hillbrow home. It was quite daunting all my life. I had the privilege of living in places like George, small town Abbotsdale, or Stellenbosch, where there was always mountains around me. When I came to Hillbrow, there was no mountain to look at to really just become quiet and hear God's voice. And I had to learn to make the buildings around me, the mountains, and to find space in the busyness of a place like Hillbrow. And on this photo on the left here on 1994 is a little bus stop. Those that's joining us, that's been with MES for many years, will know on that corner we spend many nights worshipping around a fire with the kids. And that's where I had to make Hillbrow home. My next season was really between 1994 and 2003, where I really helped to develop the uThandweni project. And the uThandweni project was really the cornerstone of many of the other programs that later on developed in MES. We did a shelter, we did feeding, we did training, we started healthcare. And in the little pic below, you will also see Dr. Philip Kutzer there in the middle, who was really instrumental during that time to develop this project with us. My next season was at MES Impilo. Our hospice and our healthcare program grew, and during 2003 and 2006, I headed up the healthcare. We did incredible work together with PEPFAR and other partners to make sure that the homeless community gain access to ARVs. In our first year of our hospice, it was really hard. We buried 86 people in 12 months. And as we lobbied and we managed to get access, the numbers reduced the next year to 36, and then to 22, and then 16, and then below 5. And I have to acknowledge Dr. Therese there in the photo for her years of volunteer doctor to make so many people's lives better and healthier. My next season was as fundraising and marketing manager at MES. Being a trained social worker, that is not the thing that always comes natural, but it ended as part of my journey and preparation that God took me on. And we started doing exciting events like the Hillbrow Unplugged together with our patron, Connie de Villiers, and Liz Meyering and many others over the years. That's really helped to kind of brand the organization and build the brand. In 2020, my journey started as CEO with MES, together with COVID and a lot of change. And it was incredible for me to experience how God actually prepared me because in the hospice that we prepared for the homeless, that's where we had to start the emergency shelter for during COVID lockdown. And so many of the things we did in the past, we could just then apply. So God really takes us through a journey. I'm going to just highlight a quick few steps in the 35 years. I think it's important to acknowledge how the income growth of MES has changed over the years. If you look at the beginning years and you look at God's provision over the years for MES and the services we do, we can just give him all the glory for that. You have the timeline booklet, so I'm not going to drill into all the detail. So I just want to acknowledge through the photos some of the people that play key roles in MES. So I'm not going to name everyone. You know who you are. So that was our first roly-poly creche and our early years at Irene. The next season was really the growth season with Utandweni, where we started, there's the bus stop at the top, started matriculants at schools, soccer, baking, outreaches, healthcare. It was really a season in those 4 years where God really laid a foundation. The first transitional house was quite significant in 1999 because we realized, and it's Renier Erasmus there with the mayor, that if we don't fix housing in South Africa, then homelessness will forever be with us. And that's where Renier's passion for making sure there's more affordable housing started. And then in later years, that was the start of Middelamore Housing Association, with whom we still partner today. If we look at the next growing years from 2001, you will see we've had wonderful experiences. Winterhoop, which is today 20 years, together with MES's 35th birthday. We started our first Ikaya shelter, our training. Madiba visited us that year. It was a really big highlight for everyone. We started our first intake for girls off the street. We had our outreaches with the community, the Help Mekaar Club in Bertrams and Genesis. We won an Impumelelo Award that year for that first transitional house in combination with the Utandweni services we offer. And there at the top right, you'll see our very first kids that came to our first after-school center. That's also in 2003, we started using the slogan, Changing the Heart of the City, and Middelamore started in 2005. The next 2 years was again some expansion years. The top photo on the left is our very first Joshua team for MES. Really incredible work that's been done ever since through the Joshua program. You'll see there a big photo of our 20-year reunion. You'll see some pics there of our CMR joining forces with the MES social work services and integrating with us. The start of our Dina Lady Creche, our Christmas serenades, Lufenoni and Life Haven homes opening. And there's also Ria Westerbeek, where the partnership with the Netherlands really started with Ikusasa over this period. If we look at 2008 and 2009, that's the years where MES moved out of Hillbrow into bigger territory. And that's where MES Cape Town and MES Port Elizabeth started. And we want to acknowledge the great work that's been done in the other cities ever since. And shortly after that was 2009 when we started MES Kenton Park with Gert Lotz and Lily. And we're grateful to see how God has actually developed those branches over the last 10 years. The next season was really in 2011, where we became Mold Empower Serve, also part of our national brand, and had to incorporate different logos so that we can incorporate all the cities. And this is the start where Cape Town took the lead in terms of the GROW initiative, Grow Job Rehabilitation Program, where we really journey with people to get them back on their feet. Soon it spilled over to Joburg and to Kempton Park. Kempton also started their after-school center during this period. We started our third preschool, Kids Academy. And you can also see our beautiful lacquer tunnels there with our farmer Johan. And then this was also the time where PE managed to get a beautiful building through the Department of Human Settlement. It was also the first time that we did a musical. The next period is the time that we've sold the Irene building, and that is what you will see the big peak there in the income was because of that sale. That's when Mace's heart was actually born, and it was quite a difficult decision for us to make because UJ wanted to incorporate that corner into the university development. 10 Days of Hope has become part of our DNA. The musicals have become part of our DNAs. Cape Town in this period started their after-school centres together with Ballard and Scottsdene. And there you can see Marika de Boer from the Netherlands, who's now taken over the leadership in the Ikusasa Stichting, and that relationship continues to grow. At the top left, you'll see that was the breaking ground when we were going to build the Stepping Stone Creche. Unfortunately, that project had to be stopped due to many political reasons in that community. Last but not the least was 2020, the year that I think everybody will talk about with COVID, changing the way we think, changing the way we apply our minds, and also how we engage with our clients. It was a year where we really worked very deep. Apologies. I just want to grab a glass of water. Apologies. During this year, we realized if we have the time to really work deeper with our clients, the impact is so much greater. We also expanded in Cape Town during this period. Despite COVID, we opened our drop-in centres in Durbanville and in Parow. And we had to change our overnight shelters into stay-in shelters. This brought a lot of extra pressure on the team and obviously expenses in terms of sanitization, in terms of keeping people inside. You had to feed them, toiletries, etc. But we could not have done 2020 without the incredible partners that MES has. People who just selflessly came to serve, board members that came in to make food. It was absolutely incredible. During this period, we also reviewed our strategy, and we said that there's really 5 focus groups that MES need to focus on going forward. Our mission is really to mold, empower and serve urban people at risk holistically so that they can be enabled to live independent, sustainable and meaningful lives. For us at MES, we don't want to institutionalize people. We want people to have a sustainable exit. If you look on the left, you'll see our preschools, our learners and our school leaving youth. That's really our proactive prevention programs. And then on the right is our youth and adults at risk and our families at risk, where the intervention is slightly more reactive, although there is also a preventative angle in those services. If you look at the problems that we're trying to solve as MES in the community, if you look at preschoolers, you'll see a list there of some of the core issues that MES wants to solve in our inner city spaces. I want to specifically point out stunted growth in South Africa is a very big problem, and we only have up to the age of 6 years to solve that, and that for us is a very key focus in our preschools. The second group that we really work with is our learners, our school-going age children. In this period, it's critical to give children a place to belong, to feel safe, especially in the inner cities where after school hours there is an extracurricular. And often they then just start roaming the street till the parents come home. And MES provides that home away from home. A very big challenge that we're facing is in terms of legal documents. A lot of our inner city children often don't have access to real papers, and that has an impact on their identity and how they approach life. For us, it's also very critical during this phase to make sure that there is a space where they can get exposed to other opportunities to reach their full potential. School-leaving youth in South Africa with a current high rate of unemployment is a very big concern in South Africa. We need to create new avenues for our young people to get employed, to find meaningful living, to find ways to study, and to break out of the cycle of poverty. That is a very big concern in this focus group. Our youth and adults at risk, big problem is insufficient housing solutions in South Africa. very big increase in mental illness and addiction linked to psychosocial challenges, especially after COVID and the impact that had on many people in our country's lives. Even people in a normal household are facing challenges with this, so much more the community that we help. The next focus group is our families at risk. That's really, we want to try and keep families together. A big crisis in South Africa is that there's no shelters for families. That actually force us to break up families, which is really against what we believe. During COVID, we had numerous requests for families that lost their home because they lost income, that just want to stay together as a family unit. And we want to try and find ways to find solutions for this. What MES does offer to address these problems in our communities, we've got 3 preschools at the moment, and we're hoping to open our first one in Cape Town quite soon. The learners, we have now learner programs in Kempton Park, we have them in Cape Town as well as in Johannesburg, and we are very proud of the achievements in these learner groups. The big contribution that we want to make is we see that a lot of children has lost a lot in terms of their education last year, and we need to play a much more stronger proactive role in giving educational support, guidance in terms of these subject choices so that they can really have the career one day that they dream of. If we look at our school leaving youth, we're very excited that we've managed to expand this year beyond the Joshua program, and that we now currently also have the Gold Youth Volunteer Program for 80 young people who's joined MES to serve. And MES wants to really have creative avenues so that we can provide more avenues and exit strategies and learnerships for our young people. So if there's any corporates out there that can help us with learnerships, placements, career weeks, please let us know that we can help and guide and mentor our young people. We're very proud that at this stage, MES is able to feed and house people in all our cities. There is still not enough housing solutions, but at least there is more than there was a year ago. And MES will continue to lobby for this very important service. MES really wants to expand our reach in terms of mental support and rehabilitation services. In terms of Grow Job Rehabilitation, it's a fantastic initiative to help people get back on their feet, to gain self-confidence again, and really get that first step back into employment. We need skills opportunities, we need, again, bursaries to help people take the next step. Social Enterprise is a great initiative that was born during COVID in this specific group, and we're so proud of the ladies that started knitting, sewing, and making such a positive change in their lives. We're very proud of you. And then our families at risk. Really for us, it's important to offer our child protection services and then also to provide alternative placement options so that when the family is not an option, that there is sufficient options for safe placement. MES cannot do all of this on our own. We need partnerships. And we need a focused approach. So we do not try to solve all the problems, but these are the key issues that we as an organization are committed to impact. What do we reach and how many people do we reach? Currently, we have a capacity of 360 children and families that we can reach within our preschool environment, hopefully soon to expand in Cape Town. We have a reach of 360 school-going children in our various after-school centers. We hope to expand that even further. Our school leaving youth, we've got 84 young people per month that we are journeying with. Our youth and adults at risk, 1,460 per month through our shelters, canteens, Grow, social work services and training. And then families at risk, 1,664 individuals that we on a monthly basis have close contact with, that we guide, that we counsel, and that we try and give a next step into a better future. For us, it's about a hand up and not a handout. Those are just some of the key statistics that we are capturing to show our impact, to see what are we doing. I'm not going to run through all of them. You're welcome to look at that after the webinar in the documents. But those are some of the issues that we want to address and track in our impact measurement. I just want to acknowledge the staff that's in our left hand. The left hand enables our right hand to do our work. And for us, we believe we are an able organization with two hands, and we work together hand in hand to make impact in our cities. So what's next? We want to really minimize stunted growth within our preschool programs. Very important. We need to break the cycle of poverty for inner city children. And if we don't find means and ways to expose them to technology with the current fourth industrial revolution, we're never going to break that cycle. And we need partnerships to help us develop that from preschool all the way through. We need to give a voice to the lived experience. For MES, it's critical, and we've discussed this in depth, that we want people to learn to speak for themselves, to influence ideologies, to influence policies, and we want to help give the lived experience a voice. We want to continue help with creative solutions to address unemployment, housing, skills development in our country. We want to expand our Joshua programs and additional opportunities for school leaving youth. We cannot all fit into the Joshua model, so we need to have additional pathways for that. We need to find innovative solutions to keep families together. I've mentioned already about the shelters that's insufficient in terms of family care. The house is just as strong as its foundation. We desperately need help in terms of the maintenance and upkeep of our property and our vehicles. And there is a very strong movement in terms of social impact measurement. The NGO sector doesn't always have the skills or the skill set to do this 100% to what the donor requirements are. And MES is in the process, and we were part of the Nation Builder development tool for monitoring and evaluation in South Africa. And we want to implement that fully, but we will need extra technology and extra resources to that. Last but not the least, we never want to forget our calling. If we look at this slide at our recent Indaba with our national management, we said, what do we celebrate at our 35th birthday? And just out of the words and the things that they shared with me, I've managed to build the word cloud. And it was amazing for me that God's is the word that came out the most, and that MES actually is God's. And that is for me a wonderful testimony of how we view what we do. The words that you see on the screen are just some of the things that we want to celebrate, and we want to say thank you to the donors. We want to say thank you to our clients that you allow us to serve you. And we want to say thank you for our staff. With your passion, your servanthood attitude, your commitment, and your resilience, especially in the past year, I salute you. It's an honor to serve alongside you. My challenge to you as our partners, our donors, and our stakeholders is come see and experience. Give responsibly. Share your skills. Come share your time. Avail your resources, but influence your network. Activate your heart for change. But also remember that we need to take care of our caregivers. For me, it's really important that in the next couple of years, that MES must be in a position to take better care of our staff, to look after our staff better, to avoid burnout, to bless them every now and again with something like a staff jacket. So if you can make a contribution in that field, please contact me. My challenge to you as our MES clients who's listening in today with us on this webinar, it's all about you in the end. We want to challenge you that you need to forgive yourself for sometimes making a wrong choice. We want to challenge you to accept the help that's offered. We want to challenge you to use the opportunities available to you. Come share your story, be part of the lived experience challenge so that we can bring about long-term change. Be honest. Tell us, give us feedback. Tell us what's not working. And then be a positive influence in the community where you stay. Whether it's in the shelter or in the after school, you can make a positive change too. And lastly, the staff. Serve with compassion. Govern and lead with excellence. Drive social change wherever you work. Initiate, collaborate. and most important, influence potential, whether it's your own, whether it's your clients, a colleagues, or even a visitors. Let's influence potential and help people to reach their full potential in life. From my side, happy birthday.
Thank you so much, Leona. I think it's very often that we actually stumble across the thing of take care of the caregiver, but so often people don't acknowledge the very hard work, the dedication, the long hours, and also the emotional investment that everybody in MES and in organizations like MES do in order to build our nation. And thank you to you and to all of the MES people that are so dedicated and that makes such a massive, massive difference. I scrolled through the chat and I saw that there was one particular question of, is there not a MES in Bloemfontein? The answer is not yet. It depends on whether we are able to do that, whether we've got partners that take our hand, and it is really a case of not yet, because it depends on where the Lord leads us, and it depends on where He needs us, so that we can actually be blessed to be a blessing to others, because I think that is fundamental in everything that MES does. And it's being a go-giver and making sure that everything that we do, we actually add value beyond ourselves. And that is true of our people that work in our branches. It's true of our donors, and it's true of our staff. But the important thing is seeing that there aren't that many questions. Organizations like Towers of Hope in Bloemfontein are valuable partners, and the same with Penn in Pretoria, the same with organizations in Durban, for instance, where we take hands and we walk the journey in national national initiatives like Winterhoop. Winterhoop has just started this morning. It's the rollout. Please, it is a fact that this is going to be a very, very cold winter. I mean, it's interesting that yesterday on radio, people said that the weather services phone-in lines were actually blocked down completely because of the severe cold that's on the way. Remember, if you're on the street, if you are sleeping under a bridge, that cold is very, very real. So I think seeing that we haven't had that many questions and the fact that Leona's presentation was so complete, I would like to take you to meet some of our clients and also to meet our branch managers so that they can tell us what life with MES is all about. I hand you over to our clients and to our branch managers. Thank you, Leona.
Okay, my name is Faith Jacqueline Piri, and I'm 24, well, turning 24 on the 29th of May. And I grew up in Joburg Park Bok with 4 brothers, yeah, and a father and my stepmother. I'm currently working as a teacher at a school for learners with special needs. I'm living my dream. I am living my dream. Like, I love teaching. I've always wanted to help people, and then now you have these children that are special, not only to me. Yo, my classes are the bomb, shame. I'm living the dream. I don't want to lie. I started, and then I feel so old now. Well, I started in grade 8, when my friends from IH invited me over to we called it during those days alumni. It was every Friday. It was a rockers. But then, yeah, and then I started then coming frequently, and then we joined the A2J. Then I became a Joshua. MES has helped me discover who I am, my love for arts, and my love for teaching. It has helped develop that love for children, hey? And also for dance and all these things, nah? And then all of this, I got it from the ASP program where we had to teach the children. I've never thought about that part, but I always thank God that I was in alumni, I was in A2J, because you know it counts. When I needed a family, my A2J members were there, and it kept me going for real. Like, I feel like, I don't know how I feel, but I feel good. I feel good.
It is sincerely a privilege for me to be part of the MES journey. In 1986, when my MES started, I visited their premises in Hillbrow on an outreach with the church. And in my wildest dreams, I never could imagine that I would one day be part of this organization. So I see myself as very, very, very privileged and spoiled to be part of this organization, and that I have a role to play here. My life has become so much richer to become part of this, because all of us, sometimes we live and we maybe sometimes if there's a stumble block in your life and you think, oh, why me? Why this has happened to me? But since I started here on my journey with MES, there's one thing that I live by every day, and that is gratitude. Because it is only mercy and grace that enables me to be on this side of the table and not to be in the shelter. And that is something that I am so aware of every day of my life. Because all of us sometimes, I think, take many things for granted. And you think that will never happen to me. But yeah, I have seen many people, professional people, people that had good jobs. And it's just in the blink of a moment that is taken away from them. So that makes me to have gratitude of every little thing that comes my side. And I'm really, as I say, privileged that I am allowed to play a part in these individuals' lives.
And enjoy, man. I hope you will be warm, né? Yeah, go and get blanket. Okay. All right.
So your interaction here can also be rewarding. So please come and visit us here at number 6 Kempton Road in Kempton Park.
I just want to say thank you for this. You're really helping us out. May God bless.
Congratulations to the organization for its 35th birthday. It was never an easy route. We had challenges, but through the grace of God, we were able to overcome those challenges. Concerning the status quo and the needs in the inner city, it is unfortunate the status quo in the inner city remains the same. The reason being, the Black people in the inner city are still struggling, unemployed, and without proper accommodation. And they've become foreigners and employees in their own land, which is basically their home. But since MES establishment, its focus has been to the homeless and the needy. And MES was able to provide food, shelter, trauma counseling, spiritual support, and skills development. and that need still exists.
Okay, so I always tell people, because everywhere I go, they actually ask me how did I get this job? And I tell them that I first went to MES. I always tell people that they don't trust me when I tell them that there's a place where there's a free computer lessons. Like, you know, these days it's so expensive to do a computer lesson. I always tell them that, you know what, go and try and do your computer lesson. I'm not guaranteeing you that you're going to get a job, but at least you will have a skill, a computer skill. What I would like to say to MES is that they've helped me so much. I sometimes cannot even believe it that I am here because of them. And I pray to God that they continue helping the people the disadvantaged people who cannot afford all these things, because I couldn't afford a computer course. But today I do have a computer course. I just want to say to MES, you know what, carry on doing what you do. It's perfect, and from the deep down of my heart, I feel like I was blessed to be introduced to MES. Yes.
So to all the delegates and the attendees, may you please, when partnering with MES, please do support, and not just support anything, but support something that can upskill and liberate the homeless people. And whatever support that will be provided by you as delegates, that will uplift and liberate homeless people, it will much be appreciated by the organization, because our ultimate goal is to eradicate homelessness. So if we can be able to liberate and uplift them, it will be of a great help. Thank you.
I'm the branch manager here at MES Port Elizabeth, and I want to congratulate a big congratulations to MES for 35 years of commitment, dedication, and faithfulness in serving their local communities in their provinces around South Africa. We can't give a big enough congratulations, because the task and the work is so great out there. It's so big and it's so needed. And so very well done for 35 years of service.
My name is Aaron. I'm part of the shelter group. Before staying at MES, my life really was going backwards. I was living on the street. I really wasn't thinking about anything else. MES has really made an impact, because without MES I wouldn't be where I am at this current situation, where I've basically transformed my life from having no regard to life to actually change it and make a positive change in it. And also, I can't be more grateful to this place, and making this video for this place is a very good thing to do, and I'm very grateful for MES. God bless MES.
You know, my life being changed around, you know, with Christ rescuing me and setting me free from my addiction and from my self-destruction, and bringing me, and I had my time in a lot of shelters, but bringing me now to a place like MES where I can serve. What a privilege that is. I mean, I can never stop to be amazed and the grace and the mercy and the kindness of God to give me the privilege of being able to come and serve at MES and reach out to the next guy that might have been in a place where I once was, and giving them hope and offering them stability and a sense of belonging and an identity, giving them purpose so that they can go and serve. And MES is all about that. It's about taking that person, bringing them in, helping them along their journey, offering them a way out, a better solution, and hopefully them embracing that and making a difference in their communities. And in order to do that, we need the community. We need to partner with the community. We need to partner with various different organizations. We need to partner with people that have skills. We need to partner with people that have a heart, but they don't know where to go and help, how to use those skills in the. Come to MES. Come and join us. Come partner with us. We want to partner with you. We want to see a bigger impact that we can have on our communities. We want to see the displaced, the homeless, the desperate, the hurt, the broken, to become healed, to have hope. And we need you.
Oh, a very wise man once said that a 35th birthday is the perfect combination of half youth and half maturity. So it's interspersed by lustiness of freedom and doled out on a plate of responsibility. And basically, this is where MES is in its 35 years. With 35 years experience in this space, we bring to that need our inner cities has a responsiveness. The trends that we see, the numbers rising daily due to the impact of COVID, urbanization trends, as well as your rise in crime. But it's not just dark. All of this leads to incredible opportunities, incredible possibilities of how to solve these very complex problems. I mean, we have joint operations committees where security and helping organizations sit to deal with some of the toughest problems. You have coalitions that was formed amongst organizations, pulling resources to ensure that we maximize the impact. You have special rates areas that went out of their way to focus on social development and not just security. We have had Tigerbird heritage festivals where we created a values tree with different communities, Somalis, Nigerians, goeie old Afrikaner people sitting together to say, how do we want this city to operate? So I think that on that, the value that MES Cape Town brings to the marginalized is basically in the holistic service model. Intake, intervention, or exit, or mercy, justice, grace. It's good for your health. Let's start there. Doing good is good for your health. It releases the love hormone, oxytocin. It's good for your heart and the heart muscles. So if you want to look after yourself, you have to do good. And be it your goods in kind, your funds, your skills, or your time, to donate that is actually the building blocks of a just life. And we need more just people.
Happy birthday to MES. Happy birthday to MES. Happy birthday, to MES. Happy birthday to MES. Happy birthday.
As you can see, we've been celebrating the whole day long. And in various places around the country, the MES offices and MES clients have been receiving cupcakes. There was song, there are dances. I know that in Cape Town, the people are dressed in different colors of teams. It is really a festival day. But in order to do this, and in order to run a multi-million rand NGO, takes a lot of hard work. People need to know about it. There needs to be the right level of awareness. And also, the machine needs to be fed because people are hungry on the road. So I would like to call on our fundraising and marketing manager, Zaman Dlovu, to come on screen so that we can have a little bit of a conversation about the massive task that Zama and her team across the country has to do the fundraising and marketing for MES. It is not an easy task. It's a very tall order, but it's also good to know that this function is in very good hands. Welcome, Zama.
Hi, Willem. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who's joining us today.
Fantastic. Thanks. And as everybody on the call knows that everybody involved in MES has their own story and their own journey of how we all ended up as partners of MES or as parts of MES. Zama, share us a little bit more about your journey of how did you end up in MES?
Okay, my journey is not that colorful. Quite short, actually. I just came across MES in 2019. I think I was just about to turn 40, so it's that time when you need to sort your life out or things start happening and it's the beginning of life, so they say. But I was just in a space where I had worked in corporates, I had worked in agencies as a marketing and communications professional, but I was in that place where I needed something to fulfill my heart. I felt that I needed something with more impact that would impact people's lives. So I actually began a journey of just praying about it and praying where I needed to be and asking God to reveal it to me. And also just speaking to my mentors and to my family and my friends that are close to me. And out of those conversations, actually, one of the mentors that I spoke to happened to be a board member at MES. So he introduced me to MES, introduced me to the chairman at MES, and as they say, the rest is history. So I get now to actually feel like I'm making an impact in someone's life. I feel like my experience and my skills and my capabilities are helping someone to sleep with a plate of food, sleep in a shelter, not outside. So every day I walk away knowing that whatever it is or whatever little I feel I can input is actually making a difference in someone's life.
Zama, don't underestimate the impact that you are making. But touching on the realities of marketing and fundraising, obviously, as a strategist, I'm acutely aware that the whole world of marketing has changed. The way in which we interact with stakeholders has changed. How has the last year actually impacted in the way that you market MES and the way that you need to go about the challenging task of fundraising for the organization?
Sure. I think it's not just the last year. I think for many South African organizations, it started perhaps 2-3 years ago as well, when just the financial instability of the country kind of started. But last year was like the turning point, definitely, with the pandemic that hit us. So it has meant now we've had to kind of diversify our marketing and fundraising initiatives and look at different strategies and look at different positioning approaches and use different language, even so to say, when we speak to our donors, when we speak to our stakeholders, when we speak to our beneficiaries or clients, or when we speak to just people that we would need to partner with along this journey. What we've also just then looked at is that over the past few years, we've also just then looked at the donor groups that we kind of target and we speak to. Initially, then you'd like have one target, and then you're saying we'll do this in partnership with government, but those strategies don't work anymore as well. So you need to kind of diversify your donor groups and the stakeholder that you speak to. So at MES, we are blessed because we partner with government, We partner with different corporations like your KFC at Hope. We partner with churches, different churches. We partner with different individuals, and these individuals can be local. We've got international people that we partner with as well. We partner with different trusts and foundations as well. So it has actually opened up our marketing strategies to say, let's look at different people that we can partner with so that we can still make an impact. But also it is then looking at those donors and say, what do they want from us? Because every donor, whatever amount or whatever skill that they bring or volunteering that they bring, it needs to make an impact into someone's life.
Definitely. So the whole thing is, it is making that impact. So it's not fundraising just for the sake of it. It's really about fundraising to make a real difference. So tell us a little bit more about that, about the challenges that NPOs and NGOs face in making a difference in their community.
Okay, so that's not only the work of the NPO or NGOs only. We need to be very aware that as NPOs or NGOs, we can't do that job alone. We need to do that job in partnership with other stakeholders. Government needs to come to the party, communities need to come to the party, churches need to come to the party, or even, if I can say, faith-based organizations. And for us, it is partnering with churches. So there are a lot of stakeholders that actually play a role in making sure that there's a real difference that is being made. And at MES, there's different ways that we look at making a difference. We don't just want to make a difference in someone's life today with the plate of food that we're going to offer them today, but we want to then take them on a journey and walk with them on a journey that says, if you were here, we meet you at the place that you are, but we need you to get to a place where you are sustainably able to look after yourself, go back into your community, look after your family, or go back into your family and make a difference in your family. For instance, if we've got kids that would have been on the streets, or vulnerable kids in the inner cities, as Leona touched on it as well, in terms of the preventative side of our hand, we then say, if there's someone who joined us in preschool, what does that preschool offer them? It needs to offer them nutrition that will grow them into an adult that will be able to even take part in society. If someone has come through our doors straight off the street, that person needs to leave our doors having a skill to look after themselves, having gone back to their family. Our first prize is people making sure that they go back to their families, or they go back into the communities, so that they can be sustainable human beings that are able to pay tax and be able to help other people. But also that takes time. And every person knows that takes time. It's not just a wham bang, today we did this and we are good and we move right along. It's actually a journey. And research says that to make an impact in someone's life will take about 3 years. So if someone has been hungry for a long time, for instance, just you feeding them today doesn't mean that you've done your job. You need to ensure that their nutrition, they get enough nutrients and nutrition to build them into a better person. As Leona touched on the standard growth for kids, we need to ensure that those kids, their BMI is perfect, so that they're able to grow, they're able to learn, they're able to grow out of that part of their lives as well. So we actually do have initiatives that are long-term at MES. You spoke about Winter Hope, which started today, which launched today, which has been running for 3 years as well, which does make a real difference in the South African winter. We might not have as bad a winter as Europe, but we actually do have quite a bad winter as well. So in terms of Joburg and Cape Town, it's been raining, there's been storms, but we are in there looking after those people and making sure that people are not on the street, people have a warm place to sleep in, that there's food that they can eat. However, we need donors, we need partners for us to be able to do that. We do run a responsible giving campaign as well, where we actually sell vouchers so that there's the communities and people just outside can be able to buy those vouchers and give them to the people on the street corners. So that person will then be able to use that voucher to come to us for a bed to sleep at night or for food. That then opens up the avenue for them to get into our training center for a free computer course or a security course, or they'll be able to get into a shelter and start getting more skills in terms of crocheting or knitting, something that will help them to get out there as a sustainable human being. We have a Package Love campaign also, which is more of a fun campaign, but it is a campaign that we run over Christmas, around the Christmas time. In terms of, I'm saying it's a fun campaign because that is usually a fun time for everybody, but that is not a fun time for people who have nothing. There's a lot of people who don't experience Christmas, who don't experience the festive season, as we call it in South Africa. So for us to be able to give to those people, we need to partner with everyone on this call and beyond this call.
Yeah, the whole thing is also, obviously people want to make a difference. They want to give and they want to touch people's lives in a responsible fashion. And I think things like the voucher system is phenomenal, where it's not a handout, but where people then become part of the system so that it could actually be a sustainable outcome. But there also needs to be value for donors, and especially from the business environment. What is the business value that businesses or donors can get out of supporting MES? Or is it just a handout and walk away?
No, that's definitely not the case. And I think we are blessed that we in South Africa, maybe most people won't say that, but we are blessed to be in South Africa in that case, because government has actually recognized that people are giving and that they are NGOs that are dependent on the generosity of the public. So, and they have provided certain tax deductions for NGOs or NPOs for taxpayers. So, for instance, with MES as a PPO that's registered with SARS, we are tax exempt from paying income tax, from paying transfer duties, and from skills development levies, which we are able then to pass on to our donors. But we are also then able to give to our donors an 18A certificate or an 18A letter that we are able, that they can then use to when they are doing their taxes as well. But in addition to that, we by partnering with MES, like organizations or companies or corporates can then improve their triple BEE scorecard on their socioeconomic development programs, on their enterprise development programs, supplier development programs, skills development programs, and also in terms of their procurement. So there is quite a lot of value that our partners can get if you're a donor, whether you're donating in cash or in goods in kind, that is then you are able to then get your 18A tax certificate, or you're able to get your triple BEE scorecard as well.
Okay. And tell me, are there opportunities to also then through this get greater ownership and actually greater involvement in changing the heart of the city?
Yes, there is. We actually have a Kula Trust, which is an investment trust, where if you are a donor, or you can actually then if you're looking for shared opportunities or shared ownership opportunities, you're able then to partner with us in the Kula Trust. So there are ownership opportunities there as well. So it's just a matter of having a conversation with us, having a conversation with myself or Leona. You can email us. The details are on our website, and then we can definitely take that forward. But we do then say or encourage everybody that they can be able to engage with us on their social transformation, and be able to then change the cities of South Africa.
That is phenomenal, because in a big way, that is really making a difference and remaining competitive in the current business world. But part of the challenges that we see across the board as an industry and everybody on the commercial side of life, the world has changed completely. Digital acceleration has become the name of the game, and in a big way, that personal interaction has fallen by the wayside because of such a lot of challenges through the pandemic and through a new way of working. How has that actually touched MES, and how does MES stay competitive and current in this whole new reality?
Yeah, as I said, the last year especially has launched us straight into the fourth industrial revolution. And as a third world country, that took us quite a while to get there. And especially in the areas that we operate in, we still have issues with fiber. We're still, there's still issues that we are faced with, but we also have had to then look at how we communicate with our donors. We've had to improve our social media platforms, for instance. We've had to improve our digital communication platforms. So like, I think before we would be rushing to meetings, we would be having face-to-face meetings, we'd be having networking opportunities, but all of those are now online. Like this webinar, we would not have been able to have it. We would not have been able to reach so many people that we've reached. We would have been just a small event that we would have enjoyed with just a few people. But we are then able to have a wider reach into different countries, especially, and to different donors as well, which we would not have reached before. So we've had to improve drastically our digital communication platforms, but also as an NGO, as you say, this does not come for free. So we've had to go out there and fundraise for absolutely everything. We fundraise for the equipment to be able to do so. We fundraise for the fiber that we're able to run our platforms from. So it is quite a huge toll on the team as well, which they're taking on with the utmost commitment, if I can commend my team, from across the country. And if you look at areas like your Kempton Park or in Gqeberha, for instance, which are smaller cities, things take a little bit of a while to get there. So you get that there's a little bit of issues with connecting with them, but it is getting there, and the team is getting up to speed as well. So which is very important for every NGO, I would say. But also, I just want to thank our donors as well, because we've had quite a lot of partnerships or professional services that have come through and offered their services to us. We've got Stone. Currently, you guys are hosting us on this platform, and we're very grateful for that. We've had Digineering, who've offered their services in terms of looking at our website. We've had Onico, who work with us in terms of media monitoring. We've had Panthera Media, who offer us their skills as well. So there are a lot of skills that we actually need. That's why we all say it's not just the money, but if there is an organization out there, they can be able to offer us a certain skill or a certain professional service that we can use. We're truly grateful for that.
Fantastic. So basically also MES and the MES needs creates an opportunity for involvement beyond just financial donation. Tell us a little bit more about the 5 focus groups and how people can actually get involved in that.
So we are lucky at MES, or we are blessed to have different areas where people can be involved in. It's not just looking after shelters only, but it's also, we've got the learner or the preschoolers, as Leona said, so people can be involved in there. You can donate financially, which we always appreciate, because that financial donations, they help with the salaries for the teachers, the salaries for the people that cook in the kitchens. For instance, our partner when it comes to feeding is KFC at Hope. So those 2 rands actually go a long way in terms of feeding the children across South Africa, not just at MES only. And we are truly grateful to partner with KFC at Hope in feeding the people that we feed, or in feeding our children. But if your heart says you want to look after the children, or if your organization's mission or vision is on creches or ECDs, as we call them, early childhood development centers, then you can partner with us on that. You can bring your team from work and do your volunteering program with us, can paint, can do playgrounds. There's lots of things that you can do. You can come and just read to the children if you've got time to do that. So there's lots of things that you can do there in terms of our learners, in terms of after school programs. There's lots of retired teachers out there who can help us with maths classes, and they can help us with science, and they can help us with a lot of different things that school going children actually need at that age. In terms of the youth as well, you can help us in terms of if your organization has opportunities for job shadowing. It would be great if you can call us, and we can send a few post-matric kids to come and job shadow. If you've got career guidance skills, we can be able to use those. In terms of our youth and adults at risk, which is more our shelter clients, or where we do our GROW programs as well, job rehabilitation programs. There we need daily food, because we feed everyone breakfast, lunch, and supper. We need toiletries, things like your toothbrush, your toothpaste, which we might take for granted, but other people, it's a big necessity. Cleaning materials. Your skills can go a long way there. Like Leona said, over the lockdown, we had people from different churches and different organizations come through and actually teach the ladies in the shelters to crochet, to sew, and now they are selling the stuff that they've been working and making over this period. And families at risk as well. Our social workers are out there. They look at just not the inner cities only, but they would go into Soweto, for instance. There's family reunifications there. There's kids that need to be taken to foster care. So there is quite a lot where people can actually partner with MES as well. So, and we're looking forward to that after this webinar with 200 people that were on the call, that will definitely get a lot of people that come through our doors, not just financially, but that come through and come and see and come and get involved.
Fantastic. And as the person that is responsible for fundraising, obviously it is also important that you challenge people to get involved. So on the screen at the moment as well is our donation details for MES National. And Zama, can you say a little bit more about that? Because there are specific areas of the website as well where people can choose which part of MES they want to get involved in.
Yeah, so you can get involved in any area in terms of the 5 focus groups. You can donate towards a specific focus group that you'd like to donate to. That is, if you're donating financially, that you can also donate to a specific branch. For instance, if you're in Cape Town, you can donate directly to Cape Town. If you're in Joburg, you can donate directly to Joburg. All of those details are on our website. And also, if you then need your 18A certificate, for instance, it would be great if you can then, after you've made your donation, then you send the proof of payment to engage@mes.org.za so that we can then engage with you and make sure that you get your 18A tax certificate. But in terms of then national as a department of its own, we look after the whole national team. We look after salaries for our employees. We look after different programs that we need to get involved in. So it would be great if you can also donate there. So I challenge everybody that it's not just about the money. We appreciate the money, but it is not just about the money. It's about your time. It's about your skills that you can share with us. But if you can, please use the donation details that are on your screen right now and on the website, and please come through and see for yourself and get involved.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Zama. I think this has been most enlightening. And I want to stress that, remember, the 140 people that work in MES are not the whole MES machine. The MES machine is actually all of the additional skills, all of the additional support, and it's a whole network of making our nation and our cities a better place. So without the support of so many people, this won't be possible. So let's have a look again at some of our endorsers and supporters. And Zama, thank you so much for your participation.
Thank you so much, Willem, and thank you everyone for joining us today.
Goedemorgen to all the beautiful people that are working at MES. This week you are celebrating your 35th anniversary, and we, the Ikusasa Foundation in the Netherlands, are sending our warmest congratulations to you all on this achievement. Day in, day out, for over 35 years already, you are reaching out to the poor, to the strangers and to the sick, just like the Bible says in Matthew 25. Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters, you did for me. We are so very honored that the Ikusasa Foundation has been able to contribute to your success, and we promise you that we will do whatever is in our power to do so in the years to come. We want to express our appreciation to all of you on this sunny, early Sunday morning. We raise our glass, we'll do that inside, filled with tea or coffee, to honor you all. We pray that the fire that is burning within your souls will never be extinguished, that you will always be safe while doing the good things that you are doing, and that you all will stay healthy for many more years. We feel, again, very blessed to be able to partner with you in creating a world where each individual can have a blessed and fulfilling life. Thanks a lot, and lots of love, all the way from the Netherlands to South Africa.
Angela here, the youth pastor at Durbanville Presbyterian Church, as well as the owner of the Altar Gardening Services. This morning I just want to wish MES a happy 35th birthday, and I want to say thank you for the work that you do in the community, and I want to commend you on what you do for those less fortunate. And I also want to challenge other businesses in the area as well as the community to partner with MES as they journey to help many people. And we can do this by responsibly giving to the homeless in forms of buying MES vouchers. We can purchase these from SPAR as well as Durbanville Presbyterian Church. So MES, congratulations, happy birthday, and I wish you many more years as you continue to serve the community. And may we all partner with you to make Durbanville a better community for everyone, including those less fortunate than ourselves. Thank you. Happy birthday.
Okay, hi, my name is Naomi Signolo. I'm a teacher here at CREFT, and I'm also what we call a ghost baki, which is a feeding scheme.
Hi, I'm Cherie. I'm also a teacher here at CREFT Primary. I am at the junior phase, and I handle all of the handing out and sorting out of the junior phase ghost baki.
Okay, so can you please explain to us, from your observation, what were the children like before MES started supporting the school with feeding scheme meals?
Though the kids wanted or needed the meals, but they weren't really looking forward to the meal because it was just bread and butter, and sometimes there was no juice for them, so they just ate the bread dried. But now, ever since MES came, they really enjoy looking forward. I even had this afternoon, I had kids asking me to join to join the feeding scheme. So it shows that kids are looking forward to eating the meal. They enjoy the meal.
Yeah, and it's always something more than just a sandwich. You know, they see there's a fruit and there's a yogurt, or you know, they really look forward to break time. They will come knocking on my door.
Yeah.
Man, can we have some food? So no, it's really made a big difference.
Yes.
Cheers, MES, op jullie 35ste bestaansjaar. Baie geluk met jullie verjaardag. Sedert 2005 is ons vanaf Nederland betrokken bij die MES in Zuid-Afrika.
Eerst in Johannesburg, samen met Ikusasa. En dan in Kaapstad, samen met Butterfly Friends. Jullie werk is speciaal. Onder Godse leiding kan jullie baaien doen voor minder bevoorrechters in Zuid-Afrika.
Ik verkies om al die namen van al die medewerkers van die MES in Zuid-Afrika te noemen. Maar dat is onmogelijk. Daarom een algemene vriendengroet, wat persoonlijk voor jullie bedoeld is. Op onze trouwdag, 45 jaar geleden, het ons een prachtige Bijbeltekst van die predikant ontvang.
Ons wil ook graag hier die Bijbeltekst persoonlijk aan jullie geven. Ik zal jou zegenen en jij zal een zegen wees. Een zoete groet van ons.
Ria.
En Luc. Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you so much to all of those supporters and donors and endorsers. Without you, we can't do our work. It's also interesting to mention that Ria and Luc, at 1 minute past midnight this morning, or should I say last night, already sent a message of congratulations. And that is really people who then are not just donors, they are part of the DNA of MES. We are nearing the end of the proceedings, and for that,
I learned this recently, that why you do things is more important than motivation. Motivation is getting started, but the why is what fuels your what. And I believe that the what is the thing you need to get done, and the why is that fuels that thing. My why is that I want to improve to myself. I can do things out of my comfort zone that scare me, and like even though I want to quit and just pull out, my why is just what keeps on going. MES, like 9-10 years ago, I went on a soup kitchen with them in the middle of Hillbrow at night, and that's the safest I felt in any city before. We gave back to the community, we fed people for the night, and it was the most amazing night ever. And that's why I went back to MES. I want them involved in this, and from this we can both gain something. I'm nervous. I have thought about quitting and just pulling out. I've never done this before, but I'm really excited as well.
Check your speakers. This ain't a self-help song or another makeover song, but how it made me over. You dig? I like me. Yo, you like me, cause I like me. Do you like me? See, I like me, cause he likes me. God likes me. Yo, you don't like me? I like me. Yo, you like me, cause I like me. Do you like me? See, I like me, cause he likes me. God likes me. Yo, you don't like me. Short, big nose, big lip. Kind of stuff to start but I never trip. Got my daddy's swag and I walk with a limp. Got a hot wife, no need to be a pimp. Never been cute, never been fly. Since I've been changed, got that twinkle in my eye. Got my real fix, I smile when I speak. Tell me who that is. Yo, it's that Jesus freak. Should be, baby. You feel it right there? When the lights fade, I know that you see more than my swagger, but it's you and me. From the storefront church to the packed out floors, they want an autograph, but I'd rather give them yours. Ink don't fade, the crowd wants more. The game's on stage, the final encore. Can't believe it's me, I'm chilling backstage. Big nose, big lips, don't get your hands raised. Texas, baby. Hey. Yo, you like me, cause I like me. Do you like me? Do you like me? See, I like me. I like cause he likes me. He likes God likes me. God likes me. You don't like me. You a size 12, cause I like me. Do you size 17, size 22, he likes you.
Fantastic. There we have it from some amazing young people making a difference, giving a year of their life to MES in order to really make a difference in the society we live in. Thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it that you joined us today. Please make sure to download the files that we've loaded for you. You just click on files and there are some wonderful things that you can download. The overview, timeline, strategy, and offering, as well as the MES annual report of 2019-2020. And then I also would like to mention to you that you can still click on offers and make a donation to MES. But Otherwise, please do go to the MES website, find out how you can get involved and how you can add value to changing the lives in our cities. Thank you so much for your time, and may you be blessed. Thanks very much.